Yo, it's Joe and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be continuing episode 2 of Calamity, Exandria Unlimited. Stay tuned to the end for my thoughts. As always, I'll be taking notes, and if there's anything I missed, feel free to comment and let me know what I missed. Anyways, let's see what this bad boy's about.
And as Paisha says that, we move deep underneath the Meridian Labyrinth.
Your loving ex-wife.
Your loving ex-wife. Deep within the Meridian Labyrinth lies the heart of Avalier. Once known as the apparatus Arcane, this crystal engine lifted Avalier by the command of Emir Porco into the sky 292 years ago.
292 years.
Arcane because at that time it was the only one. But since then, there have been many, many more. The registry of the Porters Guild. There are, in addition to that, there are the Codex of Keys, the Helm of Avalier, the Ley Rudder, which connects to the Navigators Guild. However, we are in a room just off of the Ley Rudder, and we see a quite fascinating new machine. Abria, I'd actually love if you could describe the engine that now we behold.
Ooh,
and
okay.
The chamber that we see.
Is it a fuck machine?
Come
It started
on,
off
Sam.
as a fuck machine.
Oh, okay, never mind. A swing chair. Nice.
Well, I like that. It starts with this like big central pendulum that swings back and forth that is generating and sort of holding this like massive miasma of like ether and arcane energy. There's like a circle of batteries that I've requisitioned and built, and each of them glows with like a slightly different shade of green that are kind of feeding into this pendulum. And in the center underneath it is just this massive platform, and there are runes inscribed into it, but it seems like if you look really closely, you know, like when you draw on paper and there's like papers underneath and you can kind of see the imprint of other ones. She's been trying
Like a
lots
carbon
of different
copy.
ones to try to figure out the right array
Okay.
to move in a new direction.
What do
She's
you
worked really
mean?
hard on the arboreal calyx, but she needs to go in a different trajectory and hasn't figured it out yet.
The fuck does that mean?
I love it. I'll say one thing, by the way. I don't think you would have worked very hard on the arboreal calyx.
Okay.
There's actually a different, there's a the machine in front of you. So like this attaches to the Ley Rudder, which I think that you've done a tremendous amount of work on in order to make this machine possible. And I think also somewhere in this room, there is a small token, not something that is of mechanical significance. A small token of an old friend. A gift given to you long ago. A locket. Simple orb inscribed with runes to be filled with something of safekeeping.
Oh shit!
Though long years could part you, that friendship would win out in the end. What do you remember of your old friend Evandrin as you look at this locket?
Evandrin. I know the name. I know the name. What the fuck is Evandrin again? Shit. Okay, well, you guys can help me out with that. Secondly, right? So I'm thinking of this locket, and it's sounding like the locket that Trinket has, or that Vex has for Trinket, or that, um, come to find out, wasn't that also used for, um, the Pervon's wolf? I forget the wolf's name. The hell's the wolf's name? Gladrick, right? All right. So wasn't that used for Gladrick's wolf as well? Um, Let me know if I'm right on that. I read all the comments, but sometimes I get like lost in the shuffle. It's a lot of stuff to try to retain and remember. But that's what that's sounding like, anyways. But maybe it's not. Evandrin. I'm feeling like that's Xerxes's. Is that his husband? Uh, I feel like that's who that is, and I'm not seeing it in my notes here. I don't think I put that down. Um, yeah, I don't think I put that down here in my notes. Maybe that's why I know that name or it sounds familiar, but judging by the reaction, anyways, this is a pretty key character in the lore.
What do you remember of your old friend Evandrin as you look at this locket?
Despite the like sort of suffusion of warm memories and good feelings that attended him handing me that locket, all she can remember is those last few days before everything broke bad, and the panic of not knowing how to help him and not knowing how responsible she was as he began to fade. So it's that like burst of joy and then the creeping guilt.
Like the joy of like, oh, I found this, and then you remember what it signifies and the history behind it. Yeah.
The memory of your friend becoming translucent, incorporeal, and fading, such that when the time came to inter, there were no remains.
Damn, that's rough. Hey, hold on a second. Why is that kind of sort of sounding like what happened with Vespin Chloris? I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. And I'm gonna put that in my notes just in case. I'm gonna put what the hell's his name? Evandrin, right? Yeah, Evandrin. All right, so Evandrin had a similar, appears to have had a similar death with a question mark for death as Vespin Chloris. All right, well.
Do you remember of your old friend?
How to help he was.
Friend, incorporeal, and fading.
That's a crazy death, though, I gotta
Such that
say.
when the time came to inter,
No remains? Like, that's
there were
crazy,
no
bro.
remains.
Can't even make a proper grave.
You behold this work in front of you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this what's being dug into what was formerly the like heart that the Drisha? Okay, cool. Yeah.
This is what you now behold is an engine that you have named, and I'll let you say its name. Flux capacitor. However, as you prepare this here, Dweomer is here with you. Callum is not. Callum is out working on a bunch of Eldritch battery stuff. There's a lot of work for the replenishment that needs to happen. But you hear approaching footsteps. Some of them quite heavy.
Well, this
Is it a
area
tax
has
man?
kind of been dug into and dug out. There are a bunch of the like run-down automatons that I needed replacing. So the moment I hear footsteps, I'm gonna cast animate objects on them and set them up as a guard behind me.
Oh, that's a cool ass
These
ability.
constructs come back into being, momentarily animated simply by the word of command from the city's architect, Arcane. They leap back to action. Literally, I think just you blast ether from a receptacle on your own wrist and give them the momentary life that their initial construction no longer can. And as they stand back up, you see Nidus Okira approach
Nidus.
with automata you have never seen before.
Okay, so it was him and the
Exactly
taxman
what you
arriving.
asked for.
Those are new.
Yes. So much is being used in the name of the replenishment that I had to tap into a stock that we were waiting to reveal or start to release into the city upon rising again. But for you, an exception can always be made.
Thank you.
Dweomer looks to you on her unflinching, warforged face. Your Eminence, the automata present within the chamber do not bear the glyph of the Armorer Arcane.
Oh, interesting.
Who the fuck is that?
Who made these?
You guys did.
Oh, we did, of course. The Golden Scythe.
You bypassed entirely.
Well, I wasn't going to let bureaucracy slow us down.
Incredible. I have several questions about what their purpose is. They're so big.
And they got some big ass blades
What are the
too.
blades on the back for?
That's
This
what
can
I'm
all be
saying.
discussed later.
Understood. Sure.
Is it possible? Is it going to happen? Do you have everything you need? I mean, you said it, you were leaving, and I couldn't. Do you actually have all that you require?
I think just with a quick flash, I'm gonna drop Rary's telepathic bond. Yes.
What is that?
If only. And I go and run and grab the papers. There's tonight, in the next day. This is my best.
What is this
chance.
ability?
You spoke
Yes.
about that earlier.
So it has to be now. This comes.
I'm assuming
every
it's what it
120
sounds
years.
like just telepathically
be
they're communicating
alive
instead
to
of
see
out
the
loud
next-
verbally.
Chance at this, but they won't. Evandrin wouldn't have lived to see it. I don't think Quay would have either. So it has to be now. I have to prove that it was worth it.
The fuck is Quay?
And you will.
Yeah.
You will.
We have a bit of metal. I have a destination. We're gonna move the entire city.
Well, it is truly a blessing that you came to me, that you have allowed me to be part of this. This is everything I wanted as the Dragon of Avalir.
I just run up and hug him. Thank you. I haven't
guys-
had anyone to talk to about this.
You embrace under the impervious gaze of the four massive constructs surrounding you.
Yo, you know what would be crazy? You know how how I guess I'm assuming it was Vespin Flores. We'll figure it out, I'm sure, with some more context if I'm wrong, right? But how the reanimated automata or the one that was just listless holding the tray that he was talking about that said Gordranus and then crumbled, right? What if, unbeknownst to Nidus and Laren, there are maybe one or two or all of the handymen, or not handy, I don't know why I'm saying handyman. I keep thinking about Bioshock, the taxmen what if some of them are under the influence of whatever evil entity was controlling them, whether it would be Vespin Chloris or something else, you know? So, like, everything that they're saying and doing is possibly under surveillance, and there ain't shit they can do about it. And they're basically letting their enemy know this is what we're doing, and that way their enemy can help out, you know? Um, the enemy did say you ain't gonna touch ground. You ain't gonna be able to do what you want to do anyway. So it could be some shit like that.
Massive constructs surrounding you. Dweomer steps up and
Keep forgetting who Duyomer is.
grabs the corroded bow and displays it to you.
Okay. There's enough energy. We've siphoned off so much from this last trip. It's got to be worth it.
It will be.
Will you stay?
Of course.
Okay.
It would be my honor.
The taxmen step in. Dweomer gives them their instructions. They take the bow from you, and you see that one of them gazes down at it, walks over to another engine, puts their hands doing the work that these automata do, and you see its gauntleted steel hand animate apart so that its hand splays open and a raw vent of arcane power goes into an engine. Dweomer inserts the bow into the top, and it begins to spin as golden light spills out of an opening in the top of a stone dome.
Very good
The
sound
corrosion
effects.
peels off the bow.
He's very good at that.
Pure gold, shining
Yo,
brighter.
that's
than
crazy.
The sun.
So yeah, so they're
you see that
refurbishing
one
the
of
bow.
taxmen, its chest begins to sort of like come apart, and another taxman just steps up and grasps its shoulders from behind, and it begins to like fuse into its brethren in front of it. As the engine speeds up, Dweomer steps over to you and rushes towards the engine in the center of the room. The astral lay right. She begins to interact. She begins to interact with glyphs, and you see in a corner a tiny model of the lay rudder, a just ever so small recreation of the machine in the anterior chamber. And above the engine, you see light fills the chamber. Dweomer says, "Architect Arcane, we are reading a signature. 0.504, 0.508, 0.512, 0.516, 0.530, 0.548." And you see that the lay rudder in your hand surrounds you. Light, energy. One of the three ley lines that converges on ancient Toromunda, on Kathmoira, which you are an hour or two away from being directly over. Ley lines are invisible. It's pure energy of Exandria that flows, the veins of magic, the stuff of creation. Nidus,
Very
you
cool. Sounds very
behold
cool. The mental
as
picture I got.
the spirit itself of the world is rendered visible, and
Oh, that's
realize you are
badass.
standing in the bloodstream of the cosmos.
Wow.
Ignitus just hands, tears falling down his face. It's beautiful! It's truly incredible!
This is why we did it. This is what we worked so hard
I feel
for.
my arcane ward over him in that moment.
The dream of a cabin boy deckhand taken aboard a pirate ship to look at a flying city and to say, one day I could be at the helm of a great working of magic. You watch the beating heart of your world flow magically through this room.
That is so cool.
And as the bow finishes spinning, a rod of pure gold slides into the light, and the stone dome closes. The spinning stops, and the engine pulses, mirroring the heartbeat of your world.
Oh, that's cool.
Silvery white light with a feeling of warmth, heartbeat that matches the feeling of being inside the cradle of life. The miniature lay rudder in your hand, the engine of the anterior chamber just outside that the navigators use to pilot the city around Exandria. A small little gem lights up on its exterior, and the new engine that you have created, the astral layrite, mirrors that gem.
Mediocre mind that tries to replicate what's already been. We're going to go somewhere new now.
That's fire. Okay.
As you say that, Laren,
However, the road to hell is paved with great intentions, so, you know,
lift off.
we all know whether it's this or something else or a culmination,
It's traveling in the same direction as your city.
it ain't gonna be all that great. The place they going ain't gonna be all that
As it
great.
travels, you see 2 more gems light up on the layrite. And another 2, and then 4 more. And the trajectory of the lay rudder, your little miniature train, this nothing more than a toy, really, stops moving sideways. It moves up at a diagonal, but with a strange diagonal. And as it moves, it becomes translucent and fades,
Oh, so we're...
vanishing.
Oh, shit! For $1, you could have seen this early and gotten these other perks too. So become a member for just $1. It's worth it.
From this
So wait a minute. So we're now going into this realm, I guess, that what the fuck was his name? Evandrin, possibly Vespin Chloris have gone to. This is something different. So this might be a way for us to now possibly impact for the better the future events to come, maybe. But if this is to be some sort of mode of easy transportation now that no one's ever had and that they've just created to this new plane, to this someplace new, then couldn't it also be said that whatever evil entities or bad guys that are on that plane that we've never had to deal with, that are possibly magnitudes stronger than anything that they have ever seen before, could then use that mode of transportation back to their world and conquer it? I'm just saying, right? They're going somewhere new. They could very well be much stronger than whatever normal creatures, entities, whatever populate this new plane, right? But chances are they're not. Because if it took them this long and this much arcane, magical, scientific, whatever you want to call it, study and trial and error over years and years and years and years and years, that only the most brilliant minds could possibly like help to take that step towards that direction. If it took them this long to get there, I feel like, right, it's like when you're playing a video game and it's like you finally got to this new biome and you're like, bro, I'm strong as shit. You're strong as hell in the biome you were just at, but you get to this new biome, this new area, and you are severely underleveled. You are not supposed to be there. Maybe you were supposed to go to another biome that was technically the next biome, but you're like, oh, this is the next. Why would I go to that biome when I can go to even further beyond? And you end up getting your ass kicked. I'm just guessing. Sorry for the tangent. Let's see if I'm right.
plane and fades, whew, vanishing.
But maybe they can meet Evandrin again. You never know. You know, maybe he's not
And
dead.
you see the gems on the lay right. Beep, beep. And a signal of recognition. Somewhere beyond this realm, your toy is safe and in one piece.
It was worth it. And I go over and grab the locket. It was worth it.
I'm speechless. I mean, my role is concluded. I mean, you are our pilot now. I mean, whatever you need, when you're ready to share this with everyone. I mean, I mean, the fact that this is coming with the replenishment, it's all perfect. It's just perfect.
We can finish the replenishment as expected.
Yes.
And during the celebrations, during that month, we'll take care of all the business.
Of course.
And then we will tell them that the next departure will not be across Exandria, but to new planes. Anywhere we want to go. Everywhere.
Glorious day. I can see it now.
There it is.
Okay, hold on. That's probably fine.
Okay, that's normal.
There it
Yeah.
is.
I don't have down here, so.
Dweomer looks. You just used up about 8% of the city's energy sending that
Oh.
toy extraplanar.
Holy shit.
And as you look at the readings, this is a nightmare. And you look, and Dweomer says, "My lady, something unusual."
I bet.
And you look at your energy grid, like look at the readout where everything's going. The arboreal calyx, which is an ancillary engine of the ley rudder, the actual sending of the toy took about like a fraction of energy. It was actually more efficient than you were planning on it being. But something about what you just did, the arboreal calyx sucked up almost 8% of the city's energy.
God damn.
God
Can
damn.
I
God
try to
damn.
figure out what's going on with?
That city about to start falling down. It is going to touch ground,
Give me
but
an Arcana check.
probably not in the best way.
Fuck, that's a bad roll.
Keep doing shit like that, they're gonna run out of energy.
Yeah,
But yeah, like I'm
no,
saying, right? So if
16.
this thing was sent
16.
to this new area, right, or this new plane of
So,
existence,
first of all,
it
what
could
is
be used
Nidus
as an
seeing in this
anchor.
moment as you, like,
Creatures can find a way to trace it back to its original plane of existence.
I think Nidus is just kind of like insight check on Laren to know
What's the
Give me an insight
vibe?
check, and if you want to
The
deception,
vibe
you
don't
can.
seem good to me, honestly.
That was almost a natural one. 13.
versus me?
Yeah.
Nah, 18.
I am in a dead panic now. It was in the immediate flip from like, this is it. She was about to get like emotional and calm to like, oh no. Like, it's very obvious that she's dealing with something that she doesn't have like parameters for, and any sort of digression into anything bad is giving her worst case scenario vibes immediately.
What'd I say?
You look at this. Dweomer turns to you, Nidus, actually, and says, Guildmaster, the issue is not with any of the technology present in the layrite. There is simply an energy concern within the etheric net. And you look, and so on a 16, I can tell you, even if you, honestly, it's fitting that you rolled a 16, because the arboreal calyx is, of the pieces of technology in the city, one of the ones you hate the most.
Yeah.
It is an engine that is part of the Drashari tithe. So essentially, I see all these confused faces. Everyone,
The Drashari tithe.
The Drashari tithe.
everybody, I love everybody. Like everyone's got secrets, but man, does Laren have secrets.
I don't think I have any secrets.
Sam, I know that's not true.
Just what somebody with secrets would say. Hey, what do you say? I don't have any secrets. Oh, they're fun secrets. Sure. Sure.
So, on a 16, here's what you know, right? The replenishment. Avalier travels the ley lines of Exandria, trading with cities and civilizations all over the world, collecting gold and resources and magic, right? Especially magic. Ether, raw magical substance, which is obviously the beings of this world don't use the term spell slots, but that concept of the magical potential held within beings, magical objects, things like that, that exists in this world, the understanding that raw magical power is there. And Avalier has this ability to extract and hold ether. That's not an accident. Way back in history, when Toromunda was a single city, and Emir Porco and the mages of old Avalier found out the mountain was filled with broomstone and wanted to take it up. That city, Toromunda, had been founded by the Gau Drashari, an ancient order of druids that tended the holy sites of the history of Toromunda, or actually the mountain itself, Mount Igora, the ancestral mountain. This was very significant. It was a place where the Dawnfather and the Wild Mother defeated two of the greatest primordials of Dominus back during the Schism and sealed them away under the earth and was part of the ending battles of that schism. It was a place where elemental magic permeated throughout, which the druids tended to. Some of the earliest Gaudrashari were Genasi, and also that elemental permeation is what attracted a lot of wizards here after Toromunda was founded. When the wizards came and said, hey, can we take the top half of this mountain and have a cool flying city? The original druids were like, no, you may not. And the replenishment was the concession of those wizards. It's not, in the modern day being in this ancient prequel series that we're doing, but in the modern day of the Age of Arcanum, the replenishment is sold by the Archmages of Avalier as being a great act of charity. It's not a great act of charity. It was an obligation to the druids of Toromunda, something that they said they would do to justify taking the top of the mountain.
Oh, shit.
The replenishment does renew the crops and bring back magic. There were also, in your knowledge, a bunch of important things the druids wanted to do with that magic. Now, cynical minds might say that's the druids' cut for letting the top of the mountain go. But the druids also said that there were really important things they wanted to do with that magic. So the Drashari Pact, also known as the Pact of Crown and Throne, right, was the original agreement between the wizards and the druids. Crown and Throne became Avalier, the City of Crowns, and Cathmoira, the City of Thrones.
Stop. You're going too fast. Hold on a second. Let's bring it back a second. Hold on.
Throne. So the Drashari Pact, also known as the Pact of Crown and Throne, right, was the original agreement between the wizards and the druids. Crown and Throne became Avalier, the City of Crowns, and Cathmoira, the City of
Christ, okay, what?
Throne. Crown and Throne became Avalier, the City of Crowns, and Cathmoira, the City of Thrones, and it was all about how they would apportion this magic. So, you've been building out the etheric net for a long time. 25% of the city's ether is spoken for from that pact.
Sorry, buddy, one more time.
This magic. And Cathmoira, the City of Thrones, and it was all about how they would apportion this magic. So, You've been building out the etheric net for a long time. 25% of the city's ether is spoken for from that pact. So you've
Damn.
got 75% to play with. 25% has to go to these things that were part of the original agreements. So the reason you don't know a lot about the arboreal calyx is that that's your utilities bill. You've just always needed to send a certain percentage of stuff there. But when you look at it, you see that that calyx alone is more than 50% of the tithe. Like that engine is like this one engine that you know doesn't do anything that you know to be useful takes up a double-digit percentage of your entire city's reserves of magic. And as you are looking at the energy structure, you see that it flared up when you did this thing with your layrite, and it sucked up a lot of energy as you did that. And the last thing I'll say is, when you look for a, how would I put this? As you are looking for like an instruction manual, something, because you never had to interact with it before. Being an old piece of junk, at least it's reliable. It never needs maintenance.
Yeah.
It's just something that sits there taking up hard drive space and sucking up juice, being a kind of piece of machinery that you don't particularly like, but there's no instruction manual. Like, you're looking through your own like spell book, your like records preserved here in like crystal memory within your engines, and everything built by mages comes with incredibly explicit and precise detail about what they were thinking, why they built it, what they wanted it to do. And this one says, this is the amount of energy that you must apportion to the arboreal calyx during the replenishment. End of list.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it, huh?
Okay. I would like to pinch whatever like cable is running to the calyx. Is there any way for me to like bottleneck that? Like, I just don't want it to take any more of my precious energy. And that might be a bad thing, but I don't know. It's old technology and it's probably fine.
Sure.
Give me another Arcana check.
Let's be better.
Can you give the help action? Will you allow that?
Yeah, you're proficient in Arcana.
Oh, thank God. That was a natural one.
Oh, shit.
Okay. 27.
Incredible.
Thank you so much. You just see that she's fully panicking right
I
now.
think I just come and lay a gentle hand on your shoulder.
A reassuring
27 Arcana
touch. It's gonna be
check.
all right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's stuff you could do here. It's not as simple as pinching a cable. This thing is really tapped into the roots of the city.
I mean, understandably so. It is.
You also know that the
fucking
lack of a
like
manual-
really in there. It's one of the first things.
I'm going to say on a 27 Arcana, you don't get the technical answer that you're looking for. But I'm going to do some quick math.
Quick maths. The tingle scrap.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, this sounds about right. The arboreal calyx isn't as old as the city. It's 119 years old. 119 years old is the date of the last replenishment. It's a replenishment when the Drashari Pact was updated, which was a big deal back in the day. Now, this is stuff that's not going to be in your documents. This is going to be up, honestly, probably not. Paisha would have more about it in her library, but it's honestly outside of both of your home courts. This is magisterium stuff. This is magical law. So you would have to find a way on the eve of the replenishment to like bust into the librarium magisterium to like find out what's going, how this was updated. But you do see a record that this engine was built 119 years ago, which I will point out on a 27, some quick math on our master architect's part, is the first replenishment after the ascension of the Raven Queen.
Okay, we have to go get more.
I need yarn.
Ghost.
Is that important? Is that like crazy that like
Magisters,
the fucking ascension of the Raven, the matron of Ravens is the same? It's the same shit, like around that same time. Is that important? Because I'm not quite seeing why. If it's not too spoilery, you guys can fill me in. If it's something I'll figure out, then you could just leave it be for now. But yeah. Anyways, with that being said, give me a second. We're about to stop this part here. All right, guys. So that was my reaction to, part two, the next little part of this mini campaign. If you made it this far, please leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I highly recommend you become a channel member if you have been watching some of my stuff. Definitely subscribe and check out, the perks of being a channel member. It's literally only $1, and you get to see all my stuff earlier. It's just a big way to support me, but you also get stuff in the process. So, hey, give it a look. But anyways, I'm about to get into my thoughts, and if you're interested, here we go. So this is a very interesting turn of events here. These scientists, these brilliant minds, are gonna be the catalyst for the fucking calamity. I know it's gonna happen because they're so fucking, their hubris is fucking crazy, bro. They're hella arrogant. And they just keep, like, fucking Laren is just fucking with all this shit that really she hasn't, like, just take it easy. Like, I know you're excited. I know you're a scientist, and I know you're in a rush to really break through, and you've been, like, really waiting to do this. Same shit with Nidus. I know y'all been waiting to do this. But can we take it slow, especially all things considered? It's like, I don't know, they're too blinded by their excitement and their egos to think that maybe just because we can does not mean that we should right now. But hey, we all know based on the last meeting with Pravon and seeing how they all treated him that a lot of the people in this time period are very full of themselves, and it's gonna be their undoing, bro. And speaking of that, somebody left a comment that I thought was like a very interesting way of looking like the whole thing with Pravon, right? So basically, for those of you who you guys know this, but I'm just gonna share it for me because I thought it was a great way to put it. You know who you are. Anyways, Pravon knows that there's gonna be this fucking nuke that goes off. The matron is the god of death, so the matron knows, right? There's a bunch of people that are going to die. They might not know exactly how, why. They just know that there's a bunch of people that are going to die. And this calamity shit is something that even the matron of Ravens is like, yo, this is kind of a little much. This is going to fuck up the balance of what the fuck I got going on, okay? So let me send my champion, right? And Pravon's there with the knowledge, right? Just looking around at all these fucking arrogant ass motherfuckers just walking in there like, one of you motherfuckers is going to be the person that does this shit. One of you people in here is going to be the one. I don't know who. I don't know why. One of y'all is going to do it. So he's looking around, right? He's trying to figure out, at least try to see if he can, like, get to the bottom of it, slow it down, as per the matron, right? The matron wants him to go in there and get some info, because obviously some shit's about to go down, right? And he's just walking around like, bro, I like, he's telling everybody, right? So he get, like, fast forward, we get to, like, when he's talking, like, Xerxes and fucking Sarid and fucking Loquacious and shit, and he's talking to them, and he's like, basically saying, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I don't know why it's gonna happen, but I could tell you that sometime really soon, some shit is gonna go down. It's gonna fuck up the balance of what the matron's got going on. We need to figure this out. Like, a nuke is about to go off, and I don't know which one of you motherfuckers is gonna be the catalyst to set this shit off, or which one of you people, because several people obviously are gonna be the ones. And then you look at this shit and you're like, obviously these people would, right? Because they're so, like, just so blinded. They're so blinded by, like, their own, like, oh, we're better than gods. Like, they're so fucking stupid. There's like one likable person, scratch that, two, three really likable people that I genuinely like, right? I like Xerxes, I like Sarit, and I like Pervon. Because while everybody else is so fucking worried about the theatrics and how they're perceived and being that noble thing, these guys are grounded, probably because they're not really all that well versed in this arcana shit. They're more grounded, like they don't care about the fucking pish posh shit that's going on, right? They're just trying to do their job, trying to make it day by day, make the world better and see their family. But they're not thinking themselves any better than anybody else. At least I don't think. Pervon definitely ain't. He was the one that was subject to ridicule as soon as he stepped foot in that fucking place. So he knows better than anybody what it feels like to be looked down upon by arrogant ass motherfuckers who, yes, they may be really strong, they may be really good, but they are just too much. And like I said, bro, I'm really not liking the characters. Like, not that I don't like the characters, I like the characters. I don't like their pompous ass attitudes, and they're just fucking throwing caution to the wind. And that's why this is gonna happen. And the only people that I think are grounded enough are fucking Xerxes, Sarit, and fucking Pervon at this point. I know it's gonna go to shit, and I can just see easily why. It's my little rant that I had to go on. And like I said, the person who put that little analogy together, fucking beautiful job, beautiful job. Because last part, I was like, or not last part, was it last part? Or maybe the part before it, I was like trying to figure out, like, what the fuck are you saying, Pervon? Why are you talking in riddles? Like, who was it? Was it like Xerxes or Sarit who was like, stop talking in riddles, like, be more direct? It's like, bro, that's literally the best he got. That's all he could say, right? He doesn't know, right? And the crazy part is, like, him not knowing is probably giving them even more of a reason to be like, the fuck, your god doesn't know this? Like, obviously, if you don't know this, your god doesn't know this. And if your god doesn't know what the fucking, not like, what's going on, what kind of a god is it really? Like, this is fucking stupid. Why are you serving some dumbass god that doesn't know shit, doesn't know how to utilize its power, doesn't know how to take actual control of whatever their domain is, right? So it's giving them even more of a reason to be stupid. Like, I'm just putting myself in all these different scenarios and all these characters' different shoes. Like I said, I'm not too fond of them. I think that some of them are funny. I can laugh at their quirks. But like, even Sam's character, I feel like has a little bit of arrogance to him. I don't know, dog. I don't know. I feel like he didn't really give a fuck about what Pervon was saying, really. I feel like he's more of like a means to an end. Like, oh, let me get the scoop. I would like to have an exclusive interview. You heard the fucking conversation he was having. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like everybody's got just an ulterior motive. Everybody's fake, smiling in your face, but when you turn around, they're gonna stab you in the back if it means that they'll be stronger or get a better reputation or, you know, whatever, climb the fucking political social ladder. That's what I'm thinking these characters are like. I definitely feel it with Nidus. I feel like he's the type of person who, in order to basically get his company to the top, he's gonna do some underhanded shit, obviously, right? Fucking Loquacious, I think he would do some underhanded shit to get the news, or you know what I mean, like. And plus, he's the one putting it out there, helping to. He's the face of it, so to speak. And I feel like he's got so much power in that regard as well, of like what people know and how that information is disseminated to the people who are laymen, who are innocent, who have nothing to fucking do with this bullshit. And now everybody's gonna die. Don't even get me started on fucking the fuck is Marisha's character's name? Shit. Paisha. Don't even get me started on Paisha. I don't like her at all as a character. Like, I think her quirks are cool. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be badass when the time comes. I'm pretty sure all these characters are gonna be badass when their time comes, right? But again, I just don't like the pomposity. I don't know if that's a word. Anyways, let me continue with my notes because I just went on a fucking rant. So, Uh, so we got the so we found out that the heart of Avalier was lifted into the sky 292 years ago. I'm not sure if I put that in my notes prior or if it was stated prior, but it's there now. And it's the arboreal calyx is the machine that Laren worked on, but she's not too familiar with it. She doesn't really like it as much as we come to find out. Doesn't really have much of an understanding of what it can and can't do. All this other stuff. So Evandrin, right, appeared to have had a similar death as Vespin Chloris, and I'm also gonna say that the way that the figurine had faded and disappeared into this other plane is basically what may have happened to these people, and nobody just fucking knows, like, and because they have done this, maybe they've ascended to like a stronger, higher tier person. Like maybe this happening to you is something that puts you in like another tier. Maybe I'm guessing. I don't know, right? But that's something to think about. And also something else to think about is even if that's not the case, like I said, it's quite possible. I've seen it happen in stories before where something like this happens, and then this one little thing, for instance, this figurine, can be used as an anchor to trace back its original position, and entities that they can't even fucking comprehend will be able to make their way to their area and or their plane, whatever the case may be, and cause some ruckus. What else do we have here? The astral layrite. That's like what is that? Is that like a new form of energy for an engine, like a stronger form? I think that's what I put in my notes. I put a question mark. I put new engine and I put a question mark, so you can verify that for me. What the fuck is Dweomir or Dweomir? Dweomer? What the fuck is that? I'm assuming that it's Nidus's assistant, either Nidus's assistant or Laren's assistant. The Drashiri tribe. So, or was it tribe or tithe? I forget. I don't know if I made a typo there. I might have made a typo. Y'all let me know. But yeah, so that's interesting history there. So there was just a whole pact that was made by the Guard Deshari, and the pact was of the crown and throne, and was an original agreement between the wizards and druids. And the crown and throne became Avalier and the city of crowns, and Kethmora became the city of thrones. I don't know what any of that means. I guess it's just a different way to talk about the stuff. And Bora Calyx is 119 years old, the exact date of the last replenishment. That's all I got. Stuff I'm going to keep in mind. If I miss anything, you guys let me know. If there's anything that you feel like I should know, tell me. Just keep it spoiler free in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night. Sorry for ranting. But it's genuine. It's my genuine reaction. So, yeah. But yeah, stay safe, guys. I'm going to see you in the next part. We'll see what happens. Peace.